Welcome to Community College Softball here on Sportsnet, USA.net. As the number 2 seed, Cypress takes on the number 8 seed, Saddleback, in a match against two teams in the Super Regional. The Bobcats, 25-14, taking on the favorite Cypress Chargers, 33-9. Corey Neyland, when you look at them, the 3CFA has this as a 9-19 matchup, but I don't know. The Bobcats are like a cat that's been, well, I'll say just smelling a little catnip, and they took care of ABC quickly in a 2-game set.
So cliche number one for today, playing their best ball at the right time.
That's it.
And so they beat ABC 2-0 in the regionals, and the second game of the series, they're no hit, yet they win 3-0. And we talked to Coach Fisher prior to the ball game, and she said discipline is what our team showed, and that's why we were able to win that ball game.
Well, here comes cliche number 2. Take what you're given. And they were given 6 walks that scored 3 runs, and that's how they come. They beat, I'm going to say, an ABC that numbers might have been bloated because.
No, I don't think they were bloated.
Oh, I think they were bloated.
They came in and couldn't hit the ball, and it happens to some teams that have power all through the season. They just ran into a team that's playing well late in the season in those 2 games like they did in the beginning of the season.
Albert Robles, you were at that first game with us on Friday night. I'll tell you one thing I was impressed with was the defense from those Bobcats. They flashed a lot of leather.
Absolutely, and that's probably the really telling story in that second game between Saddleback and AVC. AVC clearly didn't have the pitching, and they clearly weren't playing good defense, as there were a few defensive decisions that were made where they just couldn't come up with the play that was necessary at the time and get the outs that were needed to kind of keep Saddleback in check.
Rio Pajita comes up to start things off. The defense, we'll set it for you in just a second for things going on here for your Cypress Chargers. Haley Tucker, Corey Neyland's pitcher of the OEC, is in the circle today. Winya at first, Maldonado at second. Yeah, they moved her over there. Galaviz at short. At third. Modis at short. A little low on that one. Jazzy Lopez in center, the best defensive player in the OEC and my favorite in California in center field. I don't have to say her name. She's just angelic out there. As it's popped up, easily taking my Modus for the first out. And Parmenter, the unspoken right fielder who just 2 errors for the entire season, Corey, and she doesn't get talked a lot about in the outfield.
Quietly the second best defensive player in the OEC.
I like that. I agree with you. Garcia playing second base for the Bobcats comes up now. So, Corey, has Cypress found their mojo at the right time? They're hitting well. The bottom of the order is hitting well.
I think the last 8 games, they really found that timely hitting at the bottom of the order. I think the fielding has been better overall, not just in the outfield. This might be the best outfield in the state. I know others will argue there's some players up north who's going to disagree with that. But this could be the best outfield in the state, and the infield has really come around and limited those miscues late in the season.
Fastball in the outside corner. Garcia can't catch up with it. Batting .236 this season. On base percentage of .301. High fastball.
And it's good to see that velocity out of Tucker.
She's healthy.
At 30-7, leads the state in wins. The only thing holding her back from pitcher of the year was that earned run average.
Excuse me. Winya goes down and says, thank you very much. I'll take that little lazy line drive.
number 1, Mac Lombard.
And of course, I know people like me who like low ERAs. Look at that, but Corey, you still tout her as the best in OEC is pitching.
Oh, yeah.
Down in the dirt. Tina Payne behind the plate, one of the better defensive people behind the plate. 989 fielding percentage. She had 175 chances, 163 putouts as a catcher this season. Just below the knees for a ball.
And working with Tucker in the circle, 234 and a third innings pitch. That's well number 1 in the state of California. 123 strikeouts, 67 walks.
On the corner. Tucker came up to Albert Robles and I a couple weeks ago and said, guys, I just want you to know I'm finally healthy. Down the middle. That couldn't have been any prettier.
And again, when she's healthy, it looks like that fastball has a little bit more oomph to it. There's a little bit more spin on the ball.
Off the plate for a ball. 3-2's the count.
And you see her working. Her 30 wins are tied for 6th in a season for Cypress. So another win today would give her 31 all alone for 6th place.
In the gap, Nene Kyle comes over and just says, I've got it all the way for out number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. For the Bobcats, it was a bingo. Nobody won in the top of the first. Let's head for the bottom of the first as your Cypress Chargers will start it off with Kyle, Modus, Parmentor, and then Galaviz. And Corey, this is maybe the difference. Everybody's hitting at the right time. It's that whole thing where we're all feeling a little better about Brad Pickler. You look at Nene Kyle coming up. She is climbing up the all-time season mark for stolen bases.
She's got 42 this season. So as a season total, that's 4th all-time. So 4th all-time in a season. She's 3 away, or actually she's 4 away from being 3rd all-time by herself. 6 away from being 2nd all-time. Unless she goes on a tremendous run and Cypress, they win the next 5 games and she gets at least 2 steals a game. Actually, she'll still be short. She need at least 3 steals a game to be all-time. The all-time season single is 63.
Alexa Fitzenreuter will be in the circle. Truesdale over at first. Garcia at second. Lombard at short. Macy Smith
Up to bat.
over
7,
at
Nene
third.
Kyle.
Juarez in right. We'll get to the rest in a second as Nene Kyle comes up. And the infield should come and say hi to Albert Robles, the old guy, and Corey Neyland. They should be that close. First pitch, high and away.
And Brad probably has a couple surprises in store as everybody's in close outfield playing shallow. Don't let the speed deceive you.
Off speed, high and away. Well, Albert Robles, what did Brad Pickler say to us if the outfield came in close against Nene Kyle?
Oh, that he'd expect for her to hit one over their heads.
There we go. We'll see if that happens.
I was like, what did he say? I'm like,
Yeah. Strike right on the letters. And you'll watch Fitzenreuter, Corey. She's one that likes to use a lot of change-ups when she pitches. High and away.
12 and 8 this season. 123 and 2/3 innings pitched with a 3.23 earned run average. 71 strikeouts, 38 bases on balls given up.
3-1 count. Offered and taken. 3-2. Everybody on the move on that one. She looks down at Brad. Up in the box. She's right on top of the plate. Slaps it to left field. And since they were playing shallow, Caradia comes over and takes it. One of the better defensive players for this Bobcat team.
Number 24, Michaela Motis.
And go ahead. She had 58 total chances, 54 putouts with 4 assists.
So what you liked about that is Fitzenreuter did a nice job of containing Kyle, because that was ball 4 that she swung at. And when you have an off-speed type of pitcher, those pitches you show and see are not coming up fast, so you're salivating a little bit more. You're a little bit more ahead of yourself, and normally you wouldn't take a swing at that pitch.
Motis at the plate. Screwball. It's a weird screwball because, Corey, you watch her wrist, it goes completely underneath when she does it. Yeah. Opposite direction of a curveball, so she's going the opposite spin. But it doesn't watch it for me because it doesn't break a lot for a screwball.
Yeah, screwball is I like about location. You throw that screwball with the spin, it has to get that kind of not like a drop action almost.
Wanted to find out where that was. Garcia thought, hey, that caught the corner right around the waist. 3-1's the count. Same pitch, ball 4.
Up to bat, number 11, Carly Parmenter.
Parmenter now batting .358 for the season. Slugging percentage 500. We'll see if Motis takes off here. Macy Smith, the second pitcher on this Bobcat team. She's over at third base. And so far, Corey, you keep watching it. The ball keeps rising. She can't find that comfortable level in the circle.
Yeah, especially when those 2 pitches to Motis were a little bit high, maybe a little bit outside, but they were still good pitches. Sometimes you'll get those calls. And again, not quite sure where it's missing.
Could also be part trying to get Chase, part sitting up her catcher to pop up in case she does run, knowing that Motis does have some wheels over there at first.
So Malia Garcia at second base. Kind of doing that clockwise turn.
3-2's the count.
So you see that's a fastball right down the heart. So only thing you can maybe see is those off-speed pitching, maybe catching the upper part of the letters and not being called a strike.
Easy double play. Get the lead runner over to first. 4-6-3 double play to get out of the inning. So they flashed leather to ABC. They've done it here again today. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Well, the board is still pure. No runs, no hits, no errors for anybody so far in the first inning here of the Super Regionals on Sportsnet, USA.net. Albert Robles, Corey Neyland, and the old guy enjoying a summery day here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
It's hot.
Supposedly 89 right now. I'll believe it when I see it.
No, it's 89.
Hey,
Everywhere else, it's 95 right on us.
I was going to say,
Hey,
that's
there
why
we
it's a beautiful day. If it's 89, look at me. I'm looking great. It's 89. I'm looking young for my age.
Easy Up's coming out tomorrow.
You're getting taken down by the same people.
We'll let them take that down. Easy Up's coming out tomorrow.
So while we're through one inning of play in this game, we are not the only game in action. Of course, Mark and Corey, there are other games going on across the 3C2A. Fullerton over at Orange Coast College. That game scoreless, currently in the top of the second. In the bottom of the first at Long Beach, El Camino with an early 2-0 lead. Cerritos and Palomar currently scoreless in the top of the first. And Modesto with a 1-run lead to nothing over Monterey Peninsula, currently in the top of the second.
Tucker gets that one right off the edge as Smith comes up. You look at Smith, she really is the one that runs this team offensively. 36 RBIs, 13 doubles, a couple home runs this season. Flares that off to the right.
Couple home runs, Mark. You got 6. It's more than a couple.
You know what?
It's a few.
That's a lot.
If I only got
That's
6
many.
free lunches, I'd say I just had a couple off the plate for a ball.
First team all Orange Empire Conference. Kahui Smith, or Garcia, was also an all-conference performer, second team, along with Mackenzie Lombard.
High and away. Straight away in the outfield. Wind blowing, big turnout for this super regional. Of course, we have the baseball going across the way, Fullerton and Cypress. Parmenter snuggles that one in for out number 1.
Up to bat, number 6, Uy Garcia.
Garcia comes up. Tucker looks around at everybody. Garcia taking a lot of time to get to the plate. Pops that one foul. Alumni coming back, watching this game. On the ankles for a strike. Tina Payne behind the plate. Winya at first, Maldonado at second. Galaviz even with the bag at third. In the dirt for a ball.
Now, Mark Garcia has a couple home runs. 2 home runs and 25 RBIs. Now, you and Albert had a chance to watch them a couple times this season.
Center field line drive. And the glove just says, come to me. So it's sort of hypnotic. Come to me. Come to me. The ball just lands in the Ney's glove all the time for out number 2. Cardilla comes up now, playing left field for the Bobcats.
Are they more of a straight hitting team, or will they lay some down and try to beat some out?
Straight hitting team. Yeah. Yeah, you would almost say, you know, this is vanilla ice cream and apple pie is what you get from the Bobcats. Sort of standard, nothing spectacular. Corey goes, wait, you're attacking my ice cream, and you don't eat pie though, do you? So you can't relate to this. Right at the knees for a strike. 1-2's the count. Off the plate. 2-2.
Cardia with the 320 average. And you mentioned before, this is a short bench for Saddleback as a team.
Yeah, basically 10 players. So that says a lot for the coaching staff.
Exactly. I mean, you see a team like this, very versatile team. When you only have 10 players, Smith plays well in the field.
Maldonado has it all the way, and she just brings it home for out number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors. We're moving along. At the end of an inning and a half, it's Cypress 0, Saddleback 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Albert, did they give us an update on a score for Cypress baseball since that's going on right now?
You know, I only had the softball scores pulled up, but I will pull up baseball right now, and I will let you know momentarily. I'll just try to not have my hands burned on this laptop right now, because it's
hot.
All kinds of hot.
Shall I go get a blankie?
Nah, I got it covered with my hoodie, but, you know, sun's still hovering right over it, doing all kinds of, you know, heat and metal don't exactly mix. That's just, you know, the way it is in life.
You know, when you asked the coaches, hey, does the ice box work, especially where the ice is? I thought Corey's going to stick his head in there 2 or 3 times.
Oh, no, we were going to have an appearance from Gabriella Neyland tomorrow.
So I do have a score for the game that's going on right across the street. It's actually not Cypress playing right now. It's Grossmont playing Fullerton on the Cypress field. That game is final as of right now. Fullerton defeating Grossmont 15-7. Cypress will be coming up shortly. I don't see a game start time for that yet, but they'll be playing Grossmont next over there on Cypress's baseball field.
Yeah, they do a threesome with a double elimination.
Which we experienced last year at Saddleback. Corey knows that very well.
Yeah. Boy,
as do I.
Don't you guys miss being there now in this heat?
I think it's a little cooler down at Saddleback with a little more wind.
Got a drone over in center field.
Line drive in center field for a base hit.
And Galaviz has really stepped up and been that player along with Modis towards the end of the season. 11th in the OEC in hitting in average, 4th in hits, that's her 48th hit of the season, and 7th in RBIs with 29.
So you're telling me Jay Seidel is out there?
Galaviz was a second teamer in the OEC.
Jay's a second teamer in the OEC? That's interesting. Tina Payne comes up and takes a strike. So Galaviz drops a single. Payne squares like she's going to sacrifice. We'll see if it's back-to-back here. They crash from the corners, high and away. Doesn't offer. 1-1's the count.
Nice off speed. Again, Mark, the way she mixes up her speeds and her location.
Smith stays in front of the bag. Off the plate. So I like the scoreboard. It has it 2-3, 2 balls, 3 strikes. 2-2's the count.
I'm not the only one that's guilty of the occasional mispressed button.
Easy fly ball. And Corey, this is the thing again. You talk about her mixing up her speeds, also her location. Puts that on the outside of the plate. All you're going to do is cue it to the center fielder.
And Johansson comes up, had a big RBI last series against Ventura.
And I got told about her from her family. She's got the power to hit. She can be streaky.
And that's kind of what you need in the playoff situation. You need some of those streaky type of players who can get you 5 hits in a row, get you a home run when you least expect it. Batting .333 in her time at bat this season.
Off speed. Freezes the hitter.
And again, when you're loading up for that fastball, you're getting ready to go and getting ready to swing, and you see that pitch coming and you're not ready. That's a thing of beauty.
Off the plate, wanting the call, couldn't get it. Garcia just thinking, I'm set up in the right spot. 1-2. Crowd getting noisy behind us. Gets past Smith. Long throw over. Truesdale knocks it down. Nice play by Truesdale at first base. And Corey, you talked about that streaky hitter. She continues her streak of being successful at the plate.
Yeah, you give her that hit. Second hit of the game for Cypress. And now Winya, who had a big hit last week as well. Only batting 176 this season, but you can feel the winds changing. You can feel positive things happening for her.
So Calavi's at second. Now you cheat Smith inside the bag at third. And of course, you've got to look every once in a while and wonder when an umpire gets fooled. Pitch down the middle, batter turns away from it, umpire doesn't call it. Right there. Now,
I'm going to disagree with you.
are you?
Yes,
Okay.
I am. Even before you say I'm going to disagree with you. Let her hit. Let her hit the ball. Get that confidence going.
Okay.
Do something that they're not expecting on defense.
Okay. Don't have to ask now. She tries to butt. I think Brad really believes that he needs to get on top of the Bobcats quickly and defeat them mentally in this first game.
Well, you saw them last week. You and Albert saw them last week, the Bobcats, that is, that the more the game went on, the better they played.
Oh, yeah. In the hole, knocked down. What a flip the second. What a play by Garcia at second base as she laid out and flipped it. Albert Robles, this is what they showed us last week.
Yeah, simply just a phenomenal play over at second with the underhand glove flip over to second, not in time at first. So the runners do advance. So we got runners on the corners now.
And Corey, I thought when you hit a perfect base hit up the middle.
About this.
2 down.
I mean, like I would say it was like just 6 inches short of being a base hit, but just a phenomenal play over at second to keep it from getting into the outfield.
I think everybody was saying Cypress goes up 1-0 here in the bottom of the second inning.
Maldonado comes up, takes a strike. Here's the thing you got to give love on. Garcia goes down, but Lombard, the shortstop's looking for that double play. If she doesn't move, they don't get the runner at second base. Middle of the infield, solid defense for the Bobcats. Runner goes. No throw. 2 runners in scoring position. Maldonado took the pitch for strike number 2. 1-2, 2 outs, 2 on. Fitzenreuter looking for the pitch. Close.
No, that was a ball all the way, Mark. Maldonado, 13 ribbies this season. Looking for 2 more. And that's the exact pitch she got Kyle out in her first at-bat and Parmenter out in the first inning. That high, little bit outside or inside type of pitch gets you chasing.
Infield moves back. Foul ball down the line. So infielders are going to have a little conversation. Garcia comes in from second. Truesdale from first. Schmoozin in the circle.
And if you're Maldonado, you don't want to do too much with this pitch. All you want to do is keep it in play and a level swing.
Infield straight away. 3-2 pitch, 2 outs. Ball 4.
And Fitzenruder in the first couple innings, her go-to pitch is that rise ball. And it's not your typical rise ball because that speed isn't with it. It's simply a high pitch that she got 2 batters on. But now with the bases loaded, Jazzy Lopez, we had the conversation about Jazzy this week. And we were saying, you would like to see a bunt here.
Bunt it, Brad. Bunt it.
Would love to see a bunt with 2 outs.
I'm telling you.
If they're not expecting it. But like we said last week, Jazzy's due for a big hit.
I'm going to tell you, I'm going to watch where Smith stands. If she doesn't come even with the bag at third, my first sign is drop it. Truesdale even at first. Smith inside the bag at third. Strike down the middle.
And Smith was slowly creeping in, but didn't actually do a crash like we've seen her do in previous games. So slowly kind of reading the hitter and reading the runners to see what exactly they're going to do.
Popped up on the infield. Smith catches it, and Fitzenruder gets out of the inning. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. As we head to the top of the third, we're stuck at 0. It's Cypress 0. The Bobcats 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
So the Super Regionals are cracked up to what they're supposed to be. 2 teams that come into play. All 4 OEC teams are still alive in the Super Regionals. But the problem is they all play each other. OCC hosts Fullerton. They're playing right now. And the SCC, their 2 teams, or 2 of their 3 teams, play each other with El Camino and Long Beach. Is El Camino still up?
Well, and you always look at pivotal plays, guys, as we go back to the scoreboard with Albert.
Yeah, so as of right now, to answer Corey's question, El Camino still up over Long Beach 2-0. Game currently in the bottom of the second. Between Fullerton and OCC in the bottom of the second, OCC with a 2-0 lead over the Hornets. Palomar now with a 1-0 lead over the Cerritos Falcons. They're currently in the top of the second. West Valley with a 2-0 lead over Fresno City. That game currently in the bottom of the second. Modesto still holding on to their 1-run lead over Monterey Peninsula. Still currently a shutout for Modesto. And between Hartnell and San Mateo in the top of the third, that game is scoreless.
Wow, Wisdom is feeling pretty good over here.
No luck.
Shh, luck.
You threw that dart.
Well, we'll see if the Bobcats can find a little luck here in the top of the third. Fitzenruder comes up looking to help herself in this game because the defense has helped her so far. Swings through one that she wasn't going to catch up, even if it was pickleball.
And both these pitchers not known for being strikeout artists.
Off the plate for a ball.
But you like that strikeout pitch there.
1-2's the count. Inside. And you can tell by the defense on the infield, they don't expect her to get around and tuck her. You end up looking at Maldonado and Winya playing deep. Galaviz and Modus playing in. Their strike 3.
First strikeout of the day for either pitcher.
Up to bat, number 15, Sabrina Truesdell.
And it's a good pitch. He misses it the first time, a little bit low. Goes right back to it. Same exact pitch. Gets it at the knees, and it drops for her first of the game.
Fastball on the edge.
Haley Tucker, All-State, OEC Pitcher of the Year.
Fouled back towards us. 0-2's the count.
And I will say she has been the most consistent pitcher in SoCal. Maybe not the best numbers, even though 30 wins is the tops, but the earned run average is over 2.
Down and away, 1-2. Even against Ramirez?
Yes.
Even against the 2 at Long Beach
Yes.
City?
Yes, she has been the most consistent pitcher this year.
Wow, that's a heck of an endorsement, man. I mean that. I mean that. Fouled away.
When you look at, Tucker's ERA, like, yeah, it's, over 2. Ideally, you would like to see a little bit lower, but she's the pitcher for Cypress. There's no one else backing her up. So, like, she's in there, win or lose. So, I mean, like if she had, say, like, an OCC relief pitcher behind her, then, yeah, her ERA might be a little bit lower. But, like, if she's the ride or die, you can expect, some numbers to be a little bit inflated and make sense in terms of how many appearances she's played.
Yes.
1-2. Truesdale battling. Off the plate.
That looked good to me.
A little off. Again, but it's a strikeout pitch.
2-2 count. Wind picking up. Hit down the left field line. If that doesn't hook, that goes to the wall. Hanging fastball that she got around on.
I think that was just a great hit. Great at-bat, great swing, because that was up. That was elevated.
Yeah, that was at the eyes. 2-2. Truesdale making Tucker work. 3-2.
And now you can't be nervous, though, about that swing, though. You can't be nervous about that long foul ball that was well hit. You got to go right at her. Truesdale, quality player. 12 RBI. She's more of a defensive specialist out there at first base. She can play right field. 179 coming into this game as a hitter.
Well, Corey, because it's a limited lineup, a lot of these players who may not be playing every day are doing that now. And so their numbers could be very skewed because they don't normally play this every game of the season. Nice at-bat for Truesdale. Works a walk.
Up to bat.
She got Haley out of her rhythm with that foul ball. Now you got to come back with 1 out. Number 9 hitter in Juarez. You have to make sure you come back and get this out here.
And Jenna gets used off and on in the outfield. She's playing right field today. Her and Truesdale will change up. Sometimes Truesdale will go out to right field. Jenna shows up bunt. Little spinner. Galaviz handles a very difficult backspin bunt and gets Juarez at first base.
Up to bat, number 23, CJ Ariel.
Again, because you're almost saying, let it go, come back foul. But Galaviz, such a quality third base person out there, picks it up, handles it, and fires a strike to Maldonado. You got to love both of these coaches, because both of these coaches realize one run across is going to give me the game, or can give me the game.
Infield in at the corners, halfway at second and short, straight away in right and left. A little more shallow than I thought they would be defensively for Brad Pickler. Popped up. Modis gets underneath it for out number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. Well, it's a tight one through 2.5. Cypress 0, Saddleback 0, here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
And due up for Cypress, top of the order, Kyle, Modis, and Parmenter, second time around against Fitzenreuter.
Fitzenreuter, yes.
Gotta like it. And when you look at, we talked about Saddleback's coaches, Kirsten Fisher. Cal Poly is where she played. Cal Poly Slow is where she played. You know, 2 OEC coaches now have gone to Cal Poly. Michelle Dodona over at Riverside, and now Fisher.
Was Michelle
Carey.
at Slow too?
Yeah, she was. She was there about 10 years prior. Did
you ever do a game up at Slow with me when I
No.
did it for Cal State Fullerton?
Never
It was
did.
the windiest place in the world, and a broadcast booth that's as big as the one we're in right now. Wait a minute, we're not in a broadcast booth. Exactly.
You know, we could use a booth right about now.
We could use the wind up at Slow right now.
Fisher was the Big West Conference Freshman Field Player of the Year when she was there. 4-time All Big West, top 10 runs, doubles, RBI, home run, total bases, bases on balls, and slugging percentage.
Yeah, but you know what? I can beat you on that one because the first base coach over for Cypress College played in the Olympics for the Italian Olympic team.
I didn't know there was
up you.
I didn't know there was a competition.
Wait a minute.
So is it not a competition?
It is a
I'm just
competition.
saying. What position?
Right now, she's a first base coach. Thank you.
No, for the Italian Olympic team. What position?
No speak English.
Come on now, shortstop. Now we're even.
You can't say the name? I don't know where she was at. There we go. We're doing well. And Albert's just riding the bus saying, don't get me in trouble. Don't get me in trouble.
I'm just making sure the broadcast is smooth.
Nene,
Good luck.
Kyle gets up. Takes a strike.
Yeah, there's only so much I can do from preventing it from going off the rails.
Yeah, because your cameraman is not doing well.
Nene, 2-1 count. Haven't seen the bunt even proposed yet. Looks like a fastball. 3-1. And if you walk her, Corey Neyland, you give her a double. Because she can steal that pace quickly. Off speed on the edge.
You know she's waiting to turn on one. It's like you can see in her first 2 at-bats.
She slaps it over shortstop's head. She's standing at third. That's what she tried. Easy little one. First Cardia. Excuse me, I put a B in there.
Up to bat, number 24, Michaela Modis.
And again, no score in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Modis has the only 2 home runs this season for Cypress. One over the fence, the other inside the park.
Yeah, and Albert and I were here for that inside the park one.
And conceivably, almost probably, she should have 3 home runs.
Yes, Albert and I agree with you. Albert, you would have sent her home on that other inside the Parker, right?
I might have done it, yeah.
At the knees. Fitzenreuter feeling comfortable. On deck, Parmenter. Smith walks inside the bag at third for the Bobcats. Show me pitch for a ball. Off the plate.
And Fitzenreuter. In those 2 games against AVC, she went all 14 innings, struck out 11 in those 2 games. She walked 5.
3-1 to right field. Another manageable fly ball taken out there by Jenna Juarez in right field. And Corey, so far all the fly balls have been manageable. Nobody's really felt like a threatened hit ball so far in this game for either team.
Now it's like sock flies. Or you remember you used to play tape ball when you were younger? It sounded good off the bat, but they just didn't carry most of the time. That's what these fly balls have been.
Parmenter comes up. Parents behind us now are talking to each other. I can hear what they're talking about. What? In the gap. Again, defense for the Bobcats have done it all day long. 3 up, 3 down, no runs, no hits, no errors. We're through 3. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Bobcats. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for your Chargers here on Sportsnet USA.net. Albert, Corey, and the old guy, Albert Robles. Anything else going on around the 3C2A besides us guys?
Well, let's see if there are any changes to the existing scoreboard since the last update. But Orange Coast still ahead over Fullerton 2-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. El Camino still with a shutout 2-0 over Long Beach, currently in the top of the 3rd. Palomar still leads Cerritos 1-0. West Valley taking a commanding 8-0 lead over Fresno City. They are currently in the top of the 3rd. Modesto added a couple of runs to their lead now with a 3-0 shutout over Monterey Peninsula, and still scoreless between San Mateo and Hartnell, as well as scoreless between Yuba and American River.
Up to bat, number 7.
Amalia Garcia lined out to the first base person at her first time at bat.
Winya walks in from first. Galaviz in from 3rd. And it's popped up just enough to get over the fence for a foul. So Galaviz at 3rd, Modis at short, Maldonado at 2nd, Winya over at 1st, Tina Payne behind the plate, Parmenter in right, Nene Kyle in center, and Jazzy Lopez in left. That's the defense for your Cypress Chargers. Modis goes out, the other 2 came to watch. Nene on one side, Lopez on the other side, and said, make it look good, camera's on you for out number 1.
Lombard now up to bat. Flew out to center field her first time up. 2nd team all OEC. Game number 1, went 2 for 3 against AVC. Had a double and scored 1 run.
Takes that one inside and below the knees. The Bobcats all in black. We think we're warm today. Black uniforms from head to toe. Hit to the gap. Nene Kyle goes back. She's not going to get it. Lumpar's motoring. Heading to second with a double.
And Lombard realizes just go straight up. Don't wait for the pitch. She's first pitch swinging and hits it to the left center gap. But again, she was aggressive at the bat. She didn't let Tucker dictate that at bat.
So Macy Smith comes up now. We'll see here because the best hitter, the best RBI person with a runner in scoring position. 1 out, runner at 2nd. Takes it at the knees.
9th double on the season for Lombard. That ties Garcia, number 9 in the OEC, with 9 tied her at 6. Smith has 13, which is second.
In the gap, Lopez comes in, it drops. Runner goes to third, safe on the play. You advance to second, it goes down as a base hit. Corey Neyland, Albert Robles, you have to talk to each other defensively. Nobody seemed to want that fly ball.
A Bermuda triangle out there, and Smith advances to second. So base hit and advance to second on the throw to third.
So Corey, you look at what happened there. It really was at first. Kyle said, "I've got it." Then Modis comes in and looked like she was taking control. And then Jazzy Lopez walked up and everybody looked at each other and said, "Are you paying for lunch? Not me. Are you paying for lunch? Not me." And let the bill sit there on the table till the waiter showed up and said, "Somebody's got to pay." And now we've got runners on second and third with one out.
Yeah, I mean, shortstop is, captain of the infield, center fielder is captain of the outfield, but that ball was into left field. That is Jazzy Lopez's ball all day. Moda should have known better to concede, hey, it's now officially in the outfield. It's no longer mine. I should let my outfield handle their business and concede the ball to them.
I thought it was just going to be a hit no matter what.
Oh, so you thought it was one of those that was just going to drop?
I don't think anyone was getting there.
Okay, all right.
I mean, they all got there, but, Lopez wasn't charging because Modis is drawing back. But as a left fielder, that is your priority of a ball. Because at some point, shortstop has no authority really going that far into the outfield.
So we're gonna see what happens here. Garcia comes up. Corey, I still love squeeze plays. You know that. I don't care who the team is.
With
Now,
one out, yeah.
this team doesn't bunt that often.
Then if you don't want to get out of your character, swing away. You don't want to get out of your character that you're not doing something that you're not comfortable with.
Okay.
So swing away. Deep fly ball scores 1.
Okay.
Base hit scores 2.
All right. Off the plate.
And with an all-conference performer at bat, with one out, looks like they're doing that unintentional, intentional.
Ball 3. Saddleback parents getting fired up.
So you take the bat out of the hand of a 347 hitter, and you put the bat in the hand of a 320 hitter with 16 RBIs, 1 triple, 6 doubles, and 33 hits.
Yeah, it was clear the Chargers wanted no piece of the previous batter.
Infield in. Infield's coming home when the ball's hit to him. Fouled away.
And this is the way Saddleback played at the beginning of the season when they took the 3C 2A by storm. They were disciplined at the plate. One time around, they were aggressive. They're an aggressive hitting team.
Hit down the right field line. Went after a low pitch.
That's that aggressiveness that we're talking about. It was low, but it's manageable. It's low, you feel like you have the eye of the pitcher now.
So if I'm Tucker, am I going up around the eyes right about now? I've gone low, low, and away, back to back?
I think she needs to come up a little bit, but stay off the plate. You don't want to give them anything to hit. You want to make them chase a little bit because of the aggressiveness that they have now.
So I can come eye level, but I'm going to go eye level outside.
Inside.
Inside, okay. See if that's where she brings it. Down the middle, waist high. Corey Neyland says, whoops, whoops. Not my train, thank goodness. I'll just stand here with Joe waiting for the next one to Riverside.
Good spin on that. Great spin on that.
So we'll see what happens. 0-2, 1 out. Bases loaded for the Bobcats. Tucker brings it. Down in the dirt. 1-2.
Good dig there by Tina Payne in the backstop, preventing that ball from skipping away. Because if that ball gets away any further, it's going to be a one-run game for Saddleback.
1-2 count. Tucker rocks. Inside, ball 2. Low at the ankles. 2-2.
Again, last inning she came back with that pitch 2 times in a row.
2-2 count. Across the middle. Fly ball. Lopez keeps going back. She catches it. They tag. Here comes the throw. They get the runner at third. The run does not count. The run does not count from the umpire. So the umpire said the out at third was made before the run scored.
So I had the camera on the infield as the runner was sliding into third. I cut to the camera at home. But that was a phenomenal sequence there by Cypress to record a double play to end the inning and keep Saddleback off the board.
So for you at home and you're wondering what happened, because now Saddleback's just finding this out, Corey. The home plate umpire is watching the play at third base at the same time. He knows the runner's going to score. He says the out at third was therefore before, so the runner doesn't score. If the out would have been after, the run would count. So it's a discretionary call by the home plate umpire who said, no, they had him at third before they crossed the plate, therefore there's not a run. So as we head to the bottom of the fourth, it's Cypress 0, the Bobcats 0, here on Sportsnet, USA.net. No help on this whatsoever from any of the other umpires. And the discussion is still going on. This is Albert, really where I look at you've got 3 umpires today, not normally 2. There's no discussion. So I guess everybody's just assuming the head umpire, which is the home plate umpire, saw it the clearest and nobody else is interjecting their 2 cents.
And what happened was the throw to third base was cut off. And as Lombard was going to cross first or home plate, the tag was made at third. It was milliseconds from scoring. If she had to put her foot down on home plate, if she, I don't know, but if she had to put her foot down, as she was putting her foot down, that's when the tag was made.
Well, I like the home plate umpire turned around and for a second he thought we were the official scorekeepers and looked directly at us and said, no run, no run. So there was no doubt in his mind. As we head to the bottom of 4, well, we're sitting here at 0. No runs, 2 hits for each team. As the Bobcats thought they had one, Corey, they had dinner on the table, and everybody said, thank you, no, I don't eat fish. So went home empty. Fly to right field. And the defense continues to play well for the Bobcats as Galaviz just says, here you go, Juarez. Take this one as a practice fly. Tina Payne comes up. Strike there. Both pitchers having a very good day with strong defense behind them. And I know people are going to say, wait a minute, Mark, you're saying solid defense, but Corey Neyland said that one that dropped in would have been a base hit. He doesn't blame the outfield. This one's going to drop in for a base hit. Tina trying to start things off with a single.
Up to bat, number 42, Amanda Johansson.
You like Johansson, don't you, as a hitter?
Oh, yeah, she had a single earlier, but she's one of those players who's not shy at the plate. In every pitch hint situation she's been in this season, she's done well. Even on the out, she's got a bat on ball.
Just off the plate, Futzenritter thought she had it. Garcia thought she had it. Garcia turns around, looks at the umpire, and says, where was it?
You know, Johansson has really been a reliable hitter off the bench for Bad Prickler this year.
Inside of the plate for a strike. Both pitchers throwing quiet games. Off the plate, they've got the runner, and they throw over the top of Truesdale at first, and they sneak their second base person behind. Nice play by the Bobcats. They're playing relaxed softball.
They're playing softball.
They're playing softball. I just say it's relaxed softball. I don't see any worries from anybody out there for the Bobcats. 1-2. Two and two. So the scoreboard was wrong. They corrected. Off the plate, not close. Like Corey says, don't make a mistake to this young woman. And she continues to do what Corey says she does best, hit the baseball, or the softball, excuse me.
Yeah, Fitzenruder just put it right down the middle, right in the wheelhouse for Johansson, and she just turns on it, hits one right into the gap between third and short. Easy base hit.
Brad's trying to decide if he wants a pinch runner at first base. With only one out, you're putting the ball on the ground in front of home plate.
No, you know what? I need to make the dreams of the Bobcats feel like a nightmare right now. I need to get a couple runs, not one run. I need to get a couple runs right now.
Monique Rojas comes in at first. She'll be running for Johansson.
And I'm going to let Winya swing away, baby. I might even start my runners.
Up to bat, number 3, Madeline Winya.
You know I'm okay with that. Janaea Brannon is in the on-deck circle.
I mean, Smith sneaks in from third. Lombard's got to watch third base if Smith's going to crawl in on top of the hitter to try and smother her when she's getting ready to swing. I'm really, Brad, I'd play a little run and hit right about now. Strike there. Perfect pitch to bunt. She pulls back. Now that you see where everybody's moving to, we'll see what happens.
Payne can run, but he's not the fastest at second.
Sacrifice works.
An excellent bunt, because you don't want to bunt that down the first base line. First base goes to third base. You bunt that to the third base person, she goes to first base, her only play. And now Brannon will pinch hit.
So Janae Brannon comes up.
Yeah, 231 this season. 3 hits, 2 runs batted in. And the veteran out there has a chance to make a big play for the Chargers.
Excuse me, I need to get a couple signs to Brad.
No, you're hitting away, Mark. You're swinging.
You may be swinging. First pitch for a strike. Brandon comes up. 2 on, 2 outs. Off the edge, just misses. 1-1's the count. Noisy in the ballpark. Popped up. Truesdale at first said, wait a minute, who's going to get that? Looked at her second base person and said, Garcia. Garcia said, it's yours. And she brings it in for out number 3. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. We have played 4. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Bobcats. No runs, 4 hits, no errors for your Cypress Chargers here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey, Albert, when you looked at Truesdale for a second, I just sort of went, she's not sure she's going to go get that ball. She looked at second because I think she heard something.
I just think the ball was hit higher than she anticipated, and the guy caught him in the wind just a little bit. That threw her off just a little. I think it was hers all the way.
So looking across C3, C2, we have some baseball updates. Just across the way, literally across the street here at Cypress College Cypress, playing Grossmont. Right now, Grossmont with a early 2-0 lead. They're currently in the top of the first. Folsom Lake trailing Santa Rosa by 1 run. That score 5-4 in favor of Santa Rosa. That game in the top of the 8th. West Valley leads Skyline 10-6 in the top of the 6th. And Mount San Antonio leading Chaffey College 13-0. They're in the top of the 7th. They also have some other final scores across baseball. Palomar defeats Riverside 8-1. Glendale victorious over Cerritos 8-3. And of course, as we mentioned earlier, Fullerton beat Grossmont 15-7.
Man, some people are loud, aren't they?
Yes, you are. So Fitz and Reuter will lead off Truesdale and Juarez. So instead of Truesdale actually on deck.
Fitz and Reuter is up.
Yeah, Fitz and Reuter's up, but on deck is going to be someone else. Forget what I just said.
Okay, thank you.
I think we just learned that Corey needs to get his eyes checked.
You know what? I'll pretend
Maybe you wipe some of that sweat out of your eyes.
I'm just going to pretend I'm a 145 student and I never heard a thing. Fitzenreuter swings through 3 and says, thank you. Let me go sit down now.
Up to bat, number 15, Sabrina Truesdale.
Truesdale comes up. She hit a line drive down the left field line. Probably the strongest hit so far. It wasn't a hit, it was a foul ball, but she really did. She got a lot of contact on it. We'll see what she does here.
And as a result of that hard hit foul ball, she walked her last time at bat.
Haley Tucker. See if she's going to pick up the pace on her pitches. Winya in foul territory comes up. Says, thank you. You play first, I play first. That seems like it's fair. Route number 2.
22, Jenna Juarez.
Jenna Juarez comes up. And except for one inning, Tucker has been perfect. Three up, 3 down in the first. 3 up, 3 down in the second. One little walk in the third, but she did well. Fourth, a little off, and now she's back on the road to success. Foul ball. Galaviz goes down, and Corey takes one of those wild little hops. And it just gets underneath. Galaviz over at third. She easily, though, could have smothered it if it would have been a fair ball. High fastball for a ball. Everybody moves back. 2 outs. Fouled off. One, 2. 2 outs. 0-0 here in the 5th. Fouled back again. Jenna hanging in there. Cypress in their whites today. Corey loves the blue pinstripes. You like the way they look, and you say they look comfortable too.
Yeah, they're comfortable looking uniforms, those blues. So are the whites. They're good looking uniforms. Saddleback also has some nice. You like the all black. They call that the maroon lettering with the white not white numbers and white wording.
Yeah. 1 and 2. Fouled away again.
It's not the uniform that I would have chosen to wear today, but it is a clean look.
Yeah, and you know, there's air conditioning in those dugouts. Chain link fence. Wind goes through. Tucker bowls that one in.
The ultimate drop ball.
2-2 pitch. Pulled down. Juarez having a nice at bat for the Bobcats.
And here's where Tucker needs to stay focused. Low, low inside. Now you're looking for something high. A little bit of heat on it. Outside part of the plate. And you want it on the outside part of the plate. You don't want it to be a strike because Juarez has found a rhythm.
2-2. 2 outs. No one on. Three, 2. Three, 2 count. Pulled foul.
And again, Juarez is waiting. She's early. She sees the inside part of that plate very well. And you got to worry if you're Tucker, if you try to bring it outside, you don't want to hang it.
Winya goes over and talks to her pitcher in the circle. Fouled away. Well, everybody tells me in softball, the more you see someone pitch, the more you can zone into everything they do. Juarez now has a book at the plate of pitches. and works a walk. Excellent at bat for the young woman from the Bobcats.
9-pitch at bat. You gotta wonder, in the 5th inning, is the heat catching up to anybody?
Albert, Corey, and Mark.
Tucker doing more work than us 3 combined, as always. She needs 10 innings pitched in this series to move into 6th all time. Or actually 6th for a single season.
Up to bat, number 23, CJ Ariel.
And that's in the Cypress record books. Ario Gapita now.
Somebody called her pizza roll behind us.
No, for some pizza rolls.
Oh, okay, okay.
Does sound good right about now.
High pitch.
Although maybe a little bit too hot for this current weather. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one, Albert.
Well, I just second guessed myself, so. I mean, last thing I want is the roof of my mouth to burn alongside my elbow.
Nice pitch, right on the edge. 1-1's the count. 2 outs. 1 on. No score in a highly contested game here in game number 1. Best of 3 between these two teams. On the edge, fouled away. 1-2.
Not as fast as the first game Saddleback played last week.
Wow, that's
on
zoomed.
Friday.
That's zoomed. Hour and 10 minutes. Fly ball. Modus, Lopez crash into each other, but the ball is taken for out number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We head to bottom of 5. We're sitting at 0. It's Cypress 0, the Bobcats 0, here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Albert, any more softball scores around Southern California and Northern California?
Yeah, give me just a moment. I'll bring that your way, Mark. All righty, here we go. So, more softball scores across the 3C2A. Orange Coast College still with a 2-0 lead over the Hornets of Fullerton College. That game currently in the top of the 5th. Long Beach finally on the board. That score is now 2-1 between them and El Camino, currently in the bottom of the 4th. Cerritos still trailing Palomar by 1 run. Still a shutout for Palomar, still currently in the bottom of the 4th. West Valley 9-0 over Fresno City in the 5th inning. Modesto 6-2 over Monterey Peninsula. That game in the bottom of the 5th. Still scoreless between Hartnell and San Mateo. That game getting into the bottom of the 6th. And American River with a 2-run lead over Yuba Valley. That score 3-1 in the bottom of the 5th.
Corey Neyland, no real surprises right now in softball in this first day of the Super Regionals.
No. The only surprise really if Hartnell was somehow to beat San Mateo. That would be the surprise.
Hill is going to pinch hit
Up to bat,
here to lead
number
off the
1,
5th.
Aaliyah Hill.
So Hill for Lopez.
So can she be the spark? 8 walks this season, 16 hits, and 45 at-bats.
Well, Brad decides to go with 2 Ferraris to start this inning. Hill can run, and Kyle right behind her.
And the Bobcats are realizing, yeah, we're going to see what we have to do because Smith up. Truesdale up at 1st and 3rd.
Hill pops it up, foul.
And what she's trying to do on a pitch, on a bunt attempt that high, is try to push that. She's not trying to lay it down. She's trying to push that between third and pitcher or first and pitcher.
Slaps one foul way off the plate. Count goes to 1-2.
Hills out of Pacifica High School. 5'10" freshman. 5'2" freshman, excuse me.
1-2 off the plate. So Smith at third, Lombard at short, Garcia at second, Truesdale at first, Garcia behind the plate. Hill and those ladies are playing cat and mouse. Slaps it foul. Can Smith get there? Runs out of room. Outfield shallow. Almost in the same position if this was slow pitch softball. They're about the depth of a number 10 in the outfield. Position 10. Fastball high. 3-2. If you're Cypress, you'll take that walk.
You'll absolutely take that walk with the speed person on first base if you get it. Another speed demon on deck.
3-2. Fouled away.
And way to stay alive. I mean, that's just one of those pitches. I'm not trying to get on base. I'm just trying to foul that back to get the one I want. To get the one she can try to chop down and beat the throw out.
3-2. Swings through it. Ball's dropped. She gets tagged. High inside fastball that ties up the hitter.
And that's the first strikeout for Fitzenreuter this game. Again, not a strikeout pitcher, but that was an excellent pitch on the inside.
And Nate Kyle comes up 0 for 2 in today's game.
I mean, you're looking at the conference's fourth leading hitter at 408. Leads the conference in hits with 53. Second in walks with 21.
Strike 2 on the edge.
Great pitch. Kyle doesn't like it, but an outstanding pitch.
Kyle becoming very familiar with Cardia in left field. She flied out to her twice. Off the plate.
And what you'd like to see from Kyle on this pitch or this at-bat, try to drive one.
Turn on it.
Yes.
Turn on it. 1-2. High pitch for a ball. Yeah, because Fitzenreuter now likes to set you up with those pitches with the off-speed pitch. I'm with you, Corey. Look for the off-speed pitch here. Stand-up double. And give it to Nene Kyle because, Corey, you saw it too. Off-speed pitch right down the middle. She turned on it and had a double in mind from when she left home plate.
And that's what speed will do to you. Any ordinary player, that's a single, good-looking. And with one out, you have to consider bunting that runner over. Now when you have a hot-hitting Motus up, you don't have to lay down a bunt here. You say, Michaela, you saw that hit there. Wait for the off-speed pitch like Nene did and drive it yourself.
0-1's the count. Runner at second. One out for Cypress. Off speed. Caradia there. Drops it, picks it up. She held on to it long enough for the out. So for everybody watching saying, wait, she dropped the ball. She secured it, dropped it on the throw. Therefore, the hitter is out.
Yeah, umpire already giving the gesture and that it was dropped in transition, so the out is indeed confirmed in the outfield.
Parmenter comes up. Hit into a double play in the first inning and flowed out to center field. Flied out or flown out. Takes a fastball at the knees.
And you see the approach that's different from Saddleback and what Cypress is taking. Saddleback last inning, very aggressive in their approach at the plate. Cypress now taking that first pitch, and that's a strike. Otherwise, you might want to drive one. Parmenter second in triples in the OEC with 7. She gets one more anytime this weekend. That'll be tied for 5th in the season triples for Cypress. But I think she's another one that has to be aggressive at this at bat and drive one wherever that is, because if it gets into the outfield, I'm going to say even if it touches the grass, deep short or deep second, that's going to score Kyle.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're Brad Pickler and Corey, if it's going to be a close play at first, you're not stopping her at third. You're going to have Kyle turn at third and head home. Brad, if you can hear the replay of our voices, just listen to us. Fly ball, foul territory, needs to dive. She does, comes up short. She was so close to making a spectacular defensive play in left field.
Yeah, Kadia did a great job. She knows this is an important at-bat. And again, this is a game-changing at-bat, basically, because Parmenter, after that type of hit, you know when you get an extra opportunity, you make those count.
0-2. See me pitch outside. 1-2.
We'll need that 15-inning stretch after this one, Mark.
Off speed, floats on her. 2-2.
And that's been her out pitch today. The off-speed pitch above the lettering, right at the eyes. It's gotten a lot of fly balls that way.
2-2. Line drive. Caught. At shortstop again, Lombard goes down and gets it. And I tell you, this is just what they did against ABC. Played defense, flash leather, and they do it again today. No runs on one hit, no errors, and one left on base. Well, it has been a good one through these first 5. We got 2 more to go. It's Cypress 0, Saddleback 0. Here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey Neyland, Albert Robles, and the old guy. Happy to bring you these games today. Don't forget, we have 2 tomorrow, maybe. Whoever wins this first game, all they have to do is win the first game tomorrow, and they move on to state. Whoever wins this first game today, if they lose the first game tomorrow, we have game number 3 to determine which one of these 2 very talented teams filled with student athletes will go to the state championships here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
So Saddleback in the playoffs for the first time in 10 years. And last time they were in the second round or the Super Regionals. Actually, 10 years ago, it wouldn't have been the Super Regionals. It would have just been the second round. First time they've been to the second round since 2014. Because back in the old days, they played 2 preliminaries then. 2 teams went to state.
Yeah, that's when Corey Neyland in the old days and I would pick up a can with a string on to it and yell as loud as we could. As we head to the 6th, we're at 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. No runs, only 2 hits for the Bobcats. Parmenter takes control of this because of so many I don't knows and pulls it in for out number 1.
Up to bat, number 1, Mac Lombard.
And I like what Carly did there, Corey, because we've had a couple I don't knows. She took complete control of that play to make it an easy fly ball. Lombard hits a shot. Galavie slides. She's safe.
So infield hit off the glove of Galavie. Strong throw by Modis made it a play. If Lombard doesn't slide head first into first base, she's going to be out.
Yeah, looking at the replay, runner absolutely beat the throw by at least 1.5 feet.
Yeah. If you got to believe if she stays upright, she's out by a toe.
So Smith comes up with a runner at first, 1 out. Only the 3rd hit given up by Tucker today.
Good control pitch by Tucker. That's the 3rd hit in 2 games for Saddleback. Again, they were no hit against Antelope Valley on Saturday, but still won 3-1.
Up the middle, dropped. Easy at second, safe at first. So a line drive, dropped by Modis, close to second base. Nice little flip to second, didn't panic, get the lead run, and get the second out of the inning.
Again, Smith hits it hard one more time, and you get the feeling that both these teams, because of the familiarity with them, they're getting comfortable at the plate.
2 down. Fastball down the middle.
And that's what she did in the first 3 innings. Got ahead of the batters, got them uncomfortable at the plate.
At the knees. Oh, 0-2. Oh, 2 pitch. Swung and missed. Strike 3. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Saddleback 0, Cypress 0. The Super Regionals here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Albert, Corey, Ed Ford driving around the neighborhood, and the old guy sitting in the sun, getting older every minute as the day goes by here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
Ed Ford, your favorite friendly neighborhood broadcaster, huh?
Your Corey's having problems trying to get the words out. So, Corey, here's the thing. I know I've sent Brad 3 squeeze plays, and he hasn't tried anything. Runner gets a 3rd this inning. Brad Pickler's going to squeeze the run home.
I think Saddleback would be ready for that. I think the way they're playing, Saddleback's only play is at home plate, and you just don't think. And you and Albert saw them play defensively. They're just in that zone right now.
Oh, they're sweet, Albert, with the glove. They're sweet right now.
They've made the defensive plays that they've absolutely needed to make this entire game, just like they did against AVC. And, of course, like this game, going into the later innings of the game, just like it did against AVC, we'll see who comes out on top, because it was around this inning where Saddleback got their go-ahead runs against AVC. We'll see if Cypress can do so here.
Up to bat, number 6.
And if you're a Bobcat fan, you really need a victory against Cypress. No such thing as a good loss.
Unless it's RPI rankings, Mark. And luckily, the RPIs don't matter in playoffs.
Man, you had to mention that, didn't you?
That's all RPI is, Mark. A good loss, you move up.
So Galaviz will lead things off. Had a single in the 2nd. Flied out to right in the fourth.
.207 down the left field line, 209 down the right field line. Outfield not playing up like you normally see here at Cypress for the opposing teams.
220 to dead center. Just pulled foul.
Michaela's turned it on this season. 47 hits, was good for 4th in the OEC. 29 RBI, good for 7th. 373 average is good for 11th in the OEC play.
Off speed, fouled away.
But again, with 2 strikes, what pitch does she throw?
The high off speed pitch. I mean, it's just. And Corey, it must look like a big ham sandwich coming at you that you just want to take a bite out of.
I was going to say, it kind of reminds you of that, or a hesitation dribble in basketball. And it meaning hesitation for the batter because you want to swing and all of a sudden it's not here yet. You've already extended your stride. I hope I get a piece of it.
3-2 count. Solid line drive to left field.
And she tried it one more time, but Albert, you saw she hung it just a little bit. And not, it wasn't as high as it normally, it just hung at the letters. So Tina Payne, no home runs this season. She's got a couple triples. With no outs, Mark already says lay it down.
Lay it down. Lay it down.
Yes.
Tucker is pitching an excellent game. Don't waste it. And look who's on deck. So put that runner in scoring position because the young lady who you say is going to get you that hit when you need it is on deck.
And how good is Saddleback defensively?
They're very good.
Then you go to second with the throw. You make sure Lombard is standing on second base. Except when you have a perfectly placed bunt like that, you couldn't even do it better. Tina Payne, outstanding with the bunt.
Yeah, Tina drops it really good. And then the problem that you have there is Malia Garcia is watching the runner. And if you're doing that, Corey, over at second, the only thing you need to do at second base there is catch the ball. Don't be concerned about the runner moving to third. And she took her eye off the ball for a second and dropped it.
Yeah, it was a little high, though.
Like looking at the replay, it was a high throw
It was
at
catchable.
first.
It was catchable.
It was a high throw, E5. E5 because she had to come up just a little bit. And when you see the replay, she came up just a little bit on her toes to try to make that catch. Plus, Payne was in her way. Yeah, she's got to make that catch in a crucial situation. Yes, it's got to be a better throw. Yes, but the bunt was perfect, excellently placed, because if it was a little bit harder, play was at second base.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But you know what? I understand the error, and I would give her the error. I'm giving it as an E4, not an E5. I'm gonna blame the second base person, not the throw from third base.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not going to argue with that one.
All right.
And if it was anybody
Number 42,
but Amanda,
Johansson.
I would say lay it down one more time.
How hot is she? Hotter than you?
I mean, you know, Johansson did try to lay down a bunt in the previous at bat for her. Definitely looked uncomfortable trying to do it. She is in her element when she is swinging it.
Offers a bunt, takes it for a strike, gets everybody on the move. You get Truesdale breaking down from first, Smith moving from third. You want to get the middle of the infield moving with Lombard and Garcia.
They're going to give up the base if she bunts. Smart play
Stolen base.
smart play by Brad, because if you saw the way they reacted, if Johansson would have laid that bunt down, they were conceding first base to her. They were coming home no matter what, because there was no player. Truesdale's not at first. Garcia was covering second.
Winya on deck. Infield in. They're going to smother the plate. On the hands. Pretty pitch. Pretty pitch.
And a 2 for 2 today, 2 singles.
Fitzenreuter takes her time. Brings it home. Down and away. 2-2's the count.
Bottom of the 6th inning, no score, and a well-played game by both teams. And again, how big was that throw from Lopez to Galaviz at third?
Outside. Winya on deck.
Now, do you play analytics and put Johansson on first base? 2 for 2, 2 good hits for a 179 hitter up
No.
next?
No, I'm going to try and strike her out. Foul. Infielders coming home if it's hit to them. Up the middle, base hit. All the way to the wall, misplayed in the outfield on a triple for Johansson.
2 RBI triple. You know how they say around here it's Cypress City? Amanda Johansson just renamed it. She is Clutch City here in Cypress. 2-run triple. Outstanding player. Outstanding hit. Outstanding at bat. Runs the count full. Almost fooled on one full and almost fooled on one pitch. But again, she stays with it. Fitzenreuter threw her out pitch. All game long.
Off speed.
High above the letters. Johansson said, ain't nothing but a thing.
Johansson is the type of player who knows exactly what her pitch is. She worked the count, got the pitch she wanted from Fitzenreuter, and just annihilated the ball up the middle for a triple. And you really got to appreciate that slide in the third as well. She didn't have to slide in the third. That was just for fun, emphasis on the hit. That was a stand-up triple for Johansson.
Dempsey Wood comes in to run for her here in the 6th.
Number 3, Madeline Winya.
And this is what you love about the game of softball, the battle between pitcher and hitter. Fitzenreuter, outstanding pitches. She threw all at bat to Johansson, and she was up. She was up. Then made it even. Johansson just got the better at the end.
And when you're playing center field and you're going to try and scoop the ball so you can throw somebody to the house, the first thing you got to do is get the ball in your glove. Winya takes it for a strike. 2 huge runs for the Chargers here in the 6th. 2 runs, 7 hits for your Cypress Chargers. Shot at third. Smith's got it. Throw to first for the out.
So Ms. Brandon comes up. She came in the 4th inning to hit for Maldonado. And she's staying in there. She popped to first. So with only 1 out, Dempsey Wood at third base has enough speed to, you think, score on a fairly shallow hit into the outfield, you think?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And, of course, if you're Fitzenreuter, you say, that's the pitch I wanted before.
Yes.
So the ball goes to my third base person, and we're sitting here with bases loaded and 1 out.
So actually they gave her an error.
Yeah,
in
well, there
center
was an error in
field.
center field because
I'm just giving her a triple.
it was a scoop. I wrote it down as a triple, too, because she came running up Albert. She was going to scoop it and throw on the dead run, put the glove down, and never touched the softball.
Ready for this.
Yeah, I was like you. I gave it a triple.
Feel good triple.
Yeah.
You like it.
So everybody's on the move. Truesdale from first, Smith from short, Garcia wheels towards first base. Off speed for a strike. Bobcats wanting to get out of this inning, not giving up anything else to have a chance. And what you see today, you're probably going to see tomorrow. Outside.
Nice frame by Garcia, but well outside.
Two, 1 out, 2 runs in. High and tight. 3-2.
I like that one. I like that as strike 3. But again, it's consistently not called.
Wait a minute, you were just talking about consistency.
Up to bat, number 15, Jazzy Lopez.
We watching that again? You guys watching that down there?
Yeah, it was low, but again, you know I like the strikeout pitches, Mark. Even if they're a little bit off the plate or a little bit low, I like the strikeout pitches.
Wow.
I'm calling that one.
Wow.
It was low. It was low. It was,
A little inside as well.
I don't care.
Lopez looks at a strike. Runners at first and third, 1 out, 2 runs in. Bottom of the 6th. Bunt straight back. Fritzenritter looks, doesn't get the runner at first. And she wanted Dempsey Woods. She was waiting for Dempsey Woods to come home and say, here you go, we got you. You're dead nail. Dempsey said, no, no, no. I like it here at third base. And by the time she turns and looks at first, it's a base hit for Jazzy.
Big time hesitation by Fritzenreuter in the circle there. The bunt was right back to her, and it looked as if she looked at her catcher thinking, oh, is it coming back to the plate? No, oh, I guess now I have to make the throw to first. And by that time, way too late to make the play.
So with only 1 out last time up, she hit a double.
Brad's trying to make me happy.
I think with Kyle's last at bat, I think in the air will be just fine with only 1 out. In the air in the outfield will be positive.
Out number 2, nobody comes home.
Up to bat, number
You were saying,
4,
can we, on replay, can we get rid of Corey's last statement?
It was still a positive hit. That's one of the things you want to look for. Outfield hit in the air.
I mean, it wasn't hit into the outfield, but where it actually landed was basically in, shortstop retreating into the outfield territory. It was a really, really shallow hit. Dempsey Wood over at third really stood no chance if she were to run that in. She would have been gunned down.
I would have put the onus on the outfielder.
Wow. taken off the ground for a line out. But not before a couple runs came in. 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, a couple walks that helped along the way. And at the end of the day, Cypress looks at the top of the 7th with a 2-0 lead. It's the Chargers 2, the Bobcats 0, here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey, 1 hit. I know everything else that went around there, but it was the 1 hit because the defense stood up after that. Didn't let anything else in there. And if they could have gotten a reverse, they might have walked out with absolutely giving up nothing. If you're a Bobcat fan, you go, what if? If you're a Cypress fan, you go, no, it's the Cypress way, here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
So Tucker looking to complete another game. Looking to go the full 7 as per usual. And Kurdia will lead off, Fitzenreuter and Truesdale.
Janae Brannon, I think, is now in at second base. Yes, she is. So Brannon is now over at second base. If you're keeping score with us at home, like I think you should be, move Brannon to second. Maldonado did a great job there like she always does. And it comes to the top of the 7th. Brad's team needs to be Brad's team here on Sportsnet, USA.net. I like the umpire. He heard me still talking, said I'll for a dramatic break for the old guy. Haley Tucker, 3-hitter in this game. Flare down the right field line. Winya could not find it. It made a valiant effort in foul territory. Tina Payne behind the plate. Winya at first. Brannon at second. Galaviz at third. Hit to Parmenter in right for out number 1.
Up to bat, number 8, Alexa Fitzenreiter.
And Corey, this is where you talk about a shortened bench. You have nobody to turn to. So you stay with Fitzenreuter in case you get those 2 because she has pitched so well today. Fouled that off.
And 2 strikeouts in her earlier at-bats, and they haven't been really good strikeouts. So with 1 out, Macy Smith is all the other pitcher.
Fly ball to center. Nene just sort of stocks it. And then finally pulls it in for out number 2.
Number 15, Sabrina Truesdale.
2 down. 1 out away from winning game number 1 here at the Super Regionals for your Cypress Chargers. Tucker throws a heavy fastball to Truesdale for strike number 1.
Outstanding softball today that we're able to witness. And again, 2 plays for Saddleback. It could have changed the structure and the look of this game.
Play at third. Run doesn't score. Down in the dirt. That's the first play. And I'm sure the Bobcat coaches may come over and say, did we get in? Nene says, oh, well, hit it to me because I'll just end it, which she did. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody here in the ninth as your Chargers come away with a 2-0 victory. Corey Neyland, you look at this game, I'm going to put it all on Haley Tucker. You've talked about her all year long. Once again, she gives up 3 hits. She doesn't strike out more than 2, and yet she struck out 3. She dominated from the circle. You've got to say that's the reason they're where they are today.
Yeah, and that's why you consider her the pitcher of the year. Even though she's lost 7, that's her 31st victory of the year. Even though she's got a 2.57 earned run coming into this ball game, she grinds and keeps you in the ball game so you can win in the 6th, in the 7th when need be.
Albert, before we go, do we have any last updates from around the 3C2A, and then we'll say goodbye for the day?
Yeah, give me just a brief moment to bring that up, do a little quick refresh. Yeah, we do have some final scores across the 3C2A in terms of softball. Between Cerritos and Palomar, Palomar with a run roll shutout 9-0 over Cerritos. In the bottom of the 5th, El Camino with a 3-2 lead over Long Beach. Final at West Valley 9-1, West Valley over Fresno City. Modesto over Monterey Peninsula 6-2 final. San Mateo with a 3-0 shutout over Hartnell. And in the bottom of the 7th, American River with a 6-3 lead over Yuba. And most importantly, or just as important, but pretty significant, Fullerton tied with Orange Coast 2-2 in the bottom of the 7th. So that game in danger of going into extra innings.
So that gives us a look around the 3C2A in softball. But today, the only thing that really matters to any of the fans out here was Cypress coming away with a huge 2-0 victory. For Albert Robles, for Corey Neyland, and for the old guy, your Cypress Chargers pull off game number 1, 2-0 here on Sportsnet USA.net.